Whoa! Look at that!
This is a big fish.
Oh my God!
With the endless opportunities there for sportsmen and women who, like myself, love to hunt and fish, northwestern Ontario's a sportsman's paradise. You'll find great northwood scenery, towering pines, gorgeous rock formations, and large expanses of water just waiting to be explored, and a wilderness area that's just teeming with wildlife. In fact, one of my greatest whitetails ever taken with a bow came from Ontario. Other popular game species include black bear, ducks and geese, and some of the best grouse hunting you'll find anywhere. And of course, the granddaddy of them all, moose is king of the bush when it comes to big game hunting in the Ontario Boreal Forest. But as a fisherman, the primary reason I've always gone to Ontario is for the endless fishing opportunities. And of all the lake choices among over 400,000 options, massive Rainy Lake is, without question, one of the best, and why I've been fishing there for well over 30 years. Rainy straddles the U.S.-Canadian border and spans a massive 345 square miles. With 1,850 miles of shoreline, about 70% of Rainy Lake lies within Ontario. Divided into three geographically distinct areas, the North Arm, Red Gut Bay, and the South Arm, and with over 2,200 islands, Rainy Lake is a massive body of water. Huge crappies, monster pike, big walleyes, smallmouth, largemouth, and very good muskie fishing. Rainy Lake serves up an offering for every fisherman's appetite. Back when, commercial fishing nearly wiped out Rainy Lake walleyes. But years ago, better management with strict slot limits have brought Rainy back again to a premier walleye lake. Plus, on the Canadian side, there's no shortage of classic Canadian lodges for you to stay at to treat yourself to the Ontario experience. And for today, I chose the northwest bay of Rainy Lake at LaBelle's Birch Point Camp. It's a drive-to family-run resort that's only 35 miles from the International Falls St. Francis Crossing, yet LaBelle's has the feel of a remote resort.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Ready to go?
Yeah,
Ready to go get some big ones?
yeah. Let's hope that they're all there.
Joining me to fish are good friend and BWP Pro staffer Wayne Inger, as well as resort owner Dale LaBelle. Dale has lived in the area all his life and loves fishing Rainy Lake, to say the least. In fact, he's guided since he was a teenager and knows the area like the back of his hand.
I got a fish. We always tell our guests that they're pretty near guaranteed to catch a 27 or 20-inch walleye if they stay here for a week. It's just such a good fishery now. We've had 30 and quarter-inch walleyes caught here. There's lots 23, 24-inch walleyes. That's not even uncommon anymore to catch a couple of them a day.
Oh, got the first one on. I've made my first trip to Rainy Lake 37 years ago, and I've come back every year since. There's so many variety of fish that you can catch. The fishing is always good. It's just a great place to be.
It's a nice fish.
That one's too big here, correct?
Yeah, they got to be 13 3/4 to 17 3/4 inches.
On the Canadian portion of Rainy Lake, the walleye slot limit is strict. Non-residents are entitled to keep one fish per day measuring between 13.8 to 17.7 inches, or one trophy over 27.5 inches.
That's been in effect for about 12 years now, and it's really helped the lake a lot, because before you had a hard time catching walleyes on Rainy Lake, and now, as you see, it's way better than it's ever been.
I've never had a real problem catching walleyes up here. Just a really fertile fishery. There's so many fish. And so many different kinds, you know. Largemouth, smallmouth, muskies, pike, walleyes, big crappies, perch.
Lots of bullheads around.
Here we go, fish hog in front of the boat. Gonna catch them all before we guys in the back get to them.
Well, we're all using jigs and minnows. And I'm having to do all the work up here as well, and then I hear nothing but complaining coming out at the back of the
Another
boat.
one back at the back of the boat now.
Guess what, babe? It was close to a double.
I don't hear them complaining now, do you?
No, it always helps when you catch some, you know.
All I can do is try and put you on them.
You're doing well so far. You don't have to go too far into Ontario to get into some great fishing. We're 20 miles from the border or so, and the fishing completely changes. I think it has a lot to do with the U.S. side. Is just there's more people fishing there, and so they keep the population of good-sized walleyes in check. But when you get up this way, you find that there's a lot smaller one, or fewer smaller ones, and a lot more bigger fish. And I think it has everything to do with the fact that we're just into Ontario. So you don't have to go very far into Ontario to grab some great fishing. And that is the reason I keep coming back to Rainy Lake every year. Beautiful fish though. Guy, I love the color of these Rainy Lake walleyes. They're so golden. Especially like those ones that get out of the mud.
Yeah,
oh, they're
really
beautiful.
fat too. They're just...
Yeah, very nice.
We continue now in northwestern Ontario at LaBelle's Birch Point Camp on Rainy Lake. One look at the depth map and all you see is endless rocky structures, ups and downs, humps, points, islands. It's just classic Canadian Shield walleye fishing. It's mid-August, a time of the year when a lot of walleye fishermen believe walleyes are hard to find and even harder to catch. But I find that is absolutely not the case, at least particularly here. We're simply using our locator to hunt for walleyes holding on reefs. Once we find a school, jigs and grubs are effective for a number of basic reasons. They can be worked slowly along the bottom where walleyes spend most of their time. Color makes them highly visible, and adding a minnow provides a soft, natural feeling, texture, scent, and flavor.
One of the keys for this jigging and walleye fishing is you gotta be right on the bottom, and you get hung up a lot of times and you lose your jigs sometimes, but it's kind of the price you pay to catch fish. Other places you can get on the reefs where they're not so snaggy and you do good too, but they usually like some structure down there to hang around and pick on the bait fish.
I just slowly raise and lower the rod tip, feeling for that dull thud at the bottom. Most commonly, when a walleye strikes, you feel one quick thump. Set the hook immediately, just as hard and as fast as you can. Oh boy.
Fish on, babe.
Yes, sir. He's pulling drag, guys.
Oh, that's a good thing.
When walleyes are feeding tentatively, or if they inhale your jig on the drop, all you may feel is a slight weight at the end of your line. Once again, set the hook immediately. This is on the grub too. Nice fish.
All right.
There you go.
Hold still here, girl.
Good job, babe.
Well, a good job, fish. All I did was catch him. If he doesn't bite, it doesn't count how good you are at catching.
No use fooling around anyway.
Oh, there's a nice fish.
There's some bend in your rod.
Yeah. I like this jig fishing too. It's fun.
I love to catch anything on a
When
jig.
you feel a boom, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent fish, actually. Here it comes. Nice one.
Nice one.
Oh, that's good fish.
Oh, nice one.
That's what we're looking for.
That's what, 24 inches? You know, and the thing of it is, here we are in August, we pulled up to the spot, just bang, bang, bang.
23 and a half.
That other reef, there was a number of them, and people don't come up here in August.
No, they're afraid of the weather and they're afraid of the fishing, but the fishing is just as good in August as it is any other time of year. You just fish different. You fish a little deeper and stuff. And
The fish are fatter and healthier too, you know. They've had a couple of months to put on weight. They're feeding right now to grow. They're feeding heavy. The lake is maxed out on amounts of food. So yeah, there can be days with tough bites, but most of the time, boy, you get on them and you catch them. This is a good one. God, I love these new Verado reels of Cabela's. They're so smooth. They're very lightweight, but I mean a nice drag on them. It's a real nice walleye.
Ask and you will receive.
Ask and you shall receive.
yeah, beauty.
That's exactly what you wanted, you got.
I did. Not that. I needed to catch the biggest fish of the day, but the viewers expect it, you know?
There's no doubt about it.
I'm trying to feed this. I'm not trying to be show off.
This one's got to be a good 25. Huh?
I'm trying to feed this. I'm not trying to be show off. I'm just trying to feed us lunch.
You're not trying to be a show off, huh? If you get a chance to whack a bigger fish, you will do it with a grin on your face. I've already found that out about you. You're competitive, man, and I love that. Want to get a quick photo of this fish?
Okay.
Let our Facebook folks know where we're at and what we're doing.
I got it.
All right, Facebook fans, this is what you could be getting on Rainy Lake just as well as us.
I think one of the main draws for here is the less pressure. There's 3 small camps on this whole end of the lake, and we've got it pretty much to ourselves, and the fishing pressure is a lot less. There's not as many houseboats coming around or day traffic. Rainy Lake is getting to be one of the best walleye lakes around.
Back now to LaBelle's Birch Point Resort at Ontario's Rainy Lake. Day 3 has brought warmer weather and sunny skies, and we're hoping for another good bite.
Ah, what a gorgeous day in Ontario, on Rainy Lake.
A few facts I'd like to share with you about this area. Rainy Lake is a remnant of former glacial Lake Agassiz, a massive glacial lake that contained more fresh water than all the lakes in the world today put together.
There's a better fisher.
There's a good one.
He's not big, but he's bigger than the little. Pulling some drag.
What, that's 23, 24.
Good job.
Rainy Lake walleye.
The ancient Precambrian rocks are some of the oldest exposed rocks on the planet, from 2.5 to 3.6 billion years old. Oh, that's a good fish. One little section here's got a few of them holding on it. That's more better. Watch this, double half gainer. European exploration of the Rainy Lake area began in the late 1600s, and the demand for beaver pelts brought French-Canadian fur traders known as voyageurs. By 1780, the Ojibwe Indians were its primary residents. They played a key role in the commerce as suppliers of food, furs, and canoes to the fur traders.
This is a little better, not big, but Walleye. My spot didn't let me down today.
Not yet.
This little reef that drops really fast. That's why it's good, I think. It's a nice one, though.
Gold was discovered in Rainy Lake in 1893. Mining companies set up camp, but the low production of the mines resulted in a gold bust just 5 years later. You don't have to get crazy, by the way, with your jigging motion. If you notice, we're just sitting right at the moment, but here's bottom. So I'm about that far off the bottom. And just giving it a little bit of movement. Sometimes you need to get more aggressive. And the way you can tell that is by the way the fish hit. The more aggressive the hit is, the more aggressive you want to be with your presentation. But if you learn how to fish a jig, I promise you, you will never starve. Whether it's walleyes, crappies, bluegills, pike, muskie, anything you want to fish. If you learn how to fish a jig, you can catch it. Heavy logging of the old growth of red and white pine took over after the gold mine bust, which changed the landscape of the region. Virgin forests were rapidly disappearing, along with game such as elk, moose, and caribou. Commercial fishing followed the logging boom of the 1890s. Large-scale fishing operations began on the Rainy River as early as 1892. At its peak, in the late 1890s and early 1900s, roughly 7 or 8 large-scale fishing companies operated in the area. Working together, Americans and Canadians joined forces to balance commercial interests and the preservation of this magnificent natural area to bring it back to what it is today.
Hard fighting, suckers.
I'm not sure why everybody thinks first thing in spring is the only time to catch walleyes or pike or whatever or come to Canada. because it's a silly notion. This time of the year, July and August, is a premium time because the fish are in the middle of their growth cycle. They've only got a few months here a year in order to grow.
Nice fish. Yeah, shiny they are.
But this is a great time to come up here fishing as far as I'm concerned. You know, here we sat all day today, 3 grown men having a hoot, just whacking walleyes. I don't know how many we've got.
So it's just fun to do it.
Well, the grown men part might be a little questionable with
Okay.
at least one of us.
We won't say which one you're thinking about. Just leave it anonymous.
Hey, if you're a walleye fisherman and you're enamored with the idea of catching hundreds of walleyes a day, and some pretty darn big ones too, it'd be pretty tough to beat a trip like you saw today in northwestern Ontario. And LaBelle's Birch Point Camp is just the place to make that happen. LaBelle's has 12 fully equipped cabins nestled among a stand of birch trees overlooking scenic northwest bay of Rainy Lake. They're clean and comfortable and are fully equipped with all of the necessities and conveniences to make your stay both comfortable and memorable.
So I've been here since 1981, and it's a family camp. We meet a lot of great people and have a lot of friends over the years, and it's a business that I'd cherish. I just love to be here and love to offer this to the people, and we're proud of what we have, and we try to keep it up and keep the people happy and make it the best vacation they can have.
And if being pampered is what you're looking for, American Plans are available too. Let me tell you, their home-cooked meals are out of this world. LaBelle's Birch Point Camp has been named as one of the top 20 resorts in northwestern Ontario, and I couldn't recommend a nicer place. So once again, another memorable adventure chock full of fish in the province of Ontario. But hey, I never expect anything less there. And that's why I've been going since 1969 and will continue to go for as long as I'm possibly able. I'm Babe Winkelman. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, hey, good fishing.